How?
How does a man like Brock Lesnar, a once-in-a-generation monster, a human wrecking machine, get absolutely dismantled in the middle of that ring like he's just another rookie? No. Seriously, what did we just witness on WWE Raw? Because this wasn't just a loss. This was a statement execution. And the man who pulled the trigger? Oba Femi. Let me ask you something right now before we even go further. Did Oba Femi just end Brock Lesnar's aura forever? Or was this a fluke? Drop your answer in the comments right now. Because by the end of this video, you might not look at Brock Lesnar the same way ever again. The arena didn't just feel electric that night, it felt dangerous. You know that feeling when something historic is about to happen, but you don't yet realize if it's going to be glorious or catastrophic. That was the energy. Brock Lesnar's music hits, and just like always, the crowd erupts. Not cheers, not boos, just raw, primal reaction. Because when Lesnar shows up, it's not entertainment anymore. It's survival. The man walks down that ramp like he owns not just the ring, but reality itself. No wasted motion. No theatrics. Just violence waiting to happen. And then, Oba Femi. No hesitation. No fear. No intimidation. Just a cold, focused presence that made something feel off. Let me ask you this. When Oba Femi stepped out, did you feel like something wasn't right? Like the predator had just met something worse? The bell rings. And for the first few seconds, it's exactly what you expect. Lesnar explodes forward, classic Brock. He tries to overwhelm, dominate, impose that terrifying physicality that has crushed legends for years. But then, something shocking happens. Oba Femi doesn't budge. Not even an inch. And you could see it on Lesnar's face for just a split second. Confusion. When was the last time you saw Brock Lesnar confused? Seriously, comment below. When was the last time Lesnar looked unsure in that ring? Because this was new. Lesnar goes for the first suplex.
Blocked.
Not delayed, not struggled.
Blocked.
Like it never even had a chance. And that's when the tone shifts. Femi fires back, not with desperation, but with precision. Every strike lands with purpose. Every movement calculated. And suddenly, the unstoppable force is being studied, not fought. Studied. Let's slow this down for a second because this moment matters. For years, Brock Lesnar has been the measuring stick of destruction. John Cena, Roman Reigns, The Undertaker. Legends either survived him or fell to him. But Oba Femi? He wasn't trying to survive. He was trying to erase him. Do you think Femi came into this match with a point to prove or a legacy to destroy? Back in the ring, Lesnar gets angry. And when Lesnar gets angry, people get hurt. He charges again, this time faster, more aggressive, more dangerous. And he lands. A brutal takedown. The crowd erupts. Okay, everyone thinks, there it is. That's the Brock we know. But what happens next? Femi gets back up. Not slowly. Not painfully. He gets up like nothing happened. And that is when the crowd goes silent. Because now it's not just a match. It's a realization. Brock Lesnar might be in trouble. Femi starts taking control. And not in a chaotic way, not in a lucky way, in a dominant way. He overpowers Lesnar. Outmaneuvers him. Outthinks him. Let that sink in. Outthinks Brock Lesnar. Do you believe strength alone is enough in WWE anymore, or has the game changed? And then we get to that moment. The turning point. Lesnar goes for the F5. The move that has ended careers. The move that has flattened giants. He lifts, he turns, but Femi counters. Midair. And flips the entire momentum of the match. The crowd loses it. And suddenly, Brock Lesnar is on the defensive. You could feel it. The shift. The balance of power had changed. And there was no going back. Femi begins to dismantle him piece by piece. Targeting. Breaking. Neutralizing. This wasn't just physical domination. This was strategic destruction. And Lesnar? For the first time in a long time, he looked human. Let me ask you something real quick. If you were in Lesnar's corner at this moment, what would you even tell him? Because nothing was working. Nothing. And then, the moment that will be replayed for years. Femi sets it up. The crowd knows something big is coming. Lesnar tries to fight back, desperate now. But it's too late. Way too late. Fall from grace. The name itself feels like a warning. And when it hits, it doesn't just land. It echoes. Through the ring. Through the arena. Through Brock Lesnar's legacy. 1, 2. Silence. Then chaos. Oba Femi has just defeated Brock Lesnar. Clean. Decisive. Dominant. Let that sink in. No interference. No controversy. No excuses. Was this the most shocking WWE moment of 2026 so far? Tell me in the comments. But here's where things get even deeper. Because this wasn't just about winning. This was about what comes next. Femi stands over Lesnar. Not celebrating wildly. Not screaming. Just standing. Like a king who just claimed his throne. And Brock? Still down. Still processing. Still defeated. That image right there? That's the shift. That's the moment WWE changed. Because now the question isn't, can Oba Femi compete? The question is, who can stop him? And what about Brock Lesnar? Where does he go from here? Because let's be honest, this loss hits different. This wasn't a war he barely lost. This wasn't a fluke. This was domination. Do you think Brock Lesnar should demand a rematch or step away for a while? The commentators were stunned. The crowd was divided. And the locker room? You know they were watching. Because when someone takes down Brock Lesnar like that, everyone pays attention. Superstars who once feared Lesnar now have a new name to worry about. Oba Femi. But let's not ignore the psychological impact here. Because Lesnar's greatest weapon has always been fear. The moment he walks in, opponents doubt themselves. But now, that illusion is cracked. And once fear is gone, everything changes. Has Brock Lesnar lost his intimidation factor after this match? Be honest. Meanwhile, Femi just sent a message to the entire roster. I am not next. I am now. And if you think this was just a one-time performance, think again. Because this wasn't luck. This was preparation meeting opportunity. Every move, every counter, every decision, it all pointed to one thing. Oba Femi came into that match knowing he was going to win. That level of confidence? That's dangerous. Let's rewind one more time to the fall from grace. Because that move didn't just end the match. This loss hits different. This wasn't a war he barely lost. This wasn't a fluke. This was domination. Do you think Brock Lesnar should demand a rematch or step away for a while? The commentators were stunned. The crowd was divided. And the locker room? You know they were watching. Because when someone takes down Brock Lesnar like that, everyone pays attention. Superstars who once feared Lesnar now have a new name to worry about. Oba Femi. But let's not ignore the psychological impact here. Because Lesnar's greatest weapon has always been fear. The moment he walks in, opponents doubt themselves. But now, that illusion is cracked. And once fear is gone, everything changes. Has Brock Lesnar lost his intimidation factor after this match? Be honest. Meanwhile, Femi just sent a message to the entire roster. I am not next. I am now. And if you think this was just a one-time performance, think again. Because this wasn't luck. This was preparation meeting opportunity. Every move, every counter, every decision, it all pointed to one thing. Oba Femi came into that match knowing he was going to win. That level of confidence? That's dangerous. Let's rewind one more time to the fall from grace. Because that move didn't just end the match. It told a story. A story of dominance. A story of change. A story of a legend falling. And a new force rising. Do you think Fall from Grace is now the most protected finisher in WWE? And here's the scary part. Femi didn't look like he gave everything he had. He looked like he had more. What happens when he pushes even further? What happens when someone actually challenges him? Because right now, he looks unstoppable. And that's exactly how Brock Lesnar used to look. Full circle. But here's the real question. Is this the beginning of a new era? Or just the beginning of a war? Because if you know Brock Lesnar, you know he doesn't stay down. Do you want to see a rematch between Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar? Yes or no? Imagine this. A rematch with Lesnar coming back more aggressive, more violent, more desperate than ever. Versus a Femi, who now knows he can beat him. That's not just a match. That's a collision. And WWE thrives on collisions like that. But no matter what happens next, March 16th, 2026 will be remembered as the night Brock Lesnar fell and Oba Femi rose, not just as a competitor, but as a problem no one is ready to solve. So now I'll leave you with this. If Oba Femi faced every top superstar right now who actually has a chance against him, drop your picks in the comments. Because one thing is certain, after what we witnessed, the entire WWE landscape just changed. And we are all watching what happens next.